Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and this is how to use Torterra. Now, the funny thing is, the evolution of memes over the many years I've been doing this. Normally, it's just how to use blank. You don't. But, because we have Invincible, now you say, that's the neat thing. You don't. And Torterra falls into that category, but this is why the Verlisify channel is unlike any other. We try to find the best moveset for every Pokemon, that if you are a Torterra fan, if you want to make the underappreciated work, that's what we're here for, and we're going to try to make this Pokemon succeed in the game. So if you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and share. But the biggest problem with Torterra is that it's a slow tank, and it also has a 4x weakness, and a common one at that. We're going to be dealing with Dragonite. We're going to be dealing with Garchomp. There's going to be flying-type Pokemon all over the place. Ice is going to be common. And no matter how much you set up on the Torterra, one ice-threatening Pokemon is either going to force you out or be a KO, and there's nothing you can do about it. Also, the resistances of Grass Ground. What are you going to do with that? Like, any Grass-type Pokemon gives you the ground, and the Rock is whatever. Ooh, Electric Immunity, like, you just take hits. Like, you just soak up a lot of damage on it. And 95, 109, 85, you're just kind of, like, you're better off just running two dedicated tanks. One physical tank, one special tank. And Torterra doesn't get to succeed as either of those. And by splitting it, you're also not finding a lot of success on the Torterra. However, whenever a Pokemon encounters adversity, we can just open up Old Faithful, Curse Amnesia, and or Stockpile. Set up tanks. If the opponent doesn't respect you, or if something weird happens and like Torterra comes in the perfect revenge situation and just starts setting up and being unkillable, if they don't have any ice on the team and then you go Amnesia, you win the game, potentially. Like, that's just how Torterra works, and that's why we go for this kind of crazy little mixed up EV spread right here, because with Amnesia, we're going to be gaining special defense a lot faster, so we don't have to invest as hard into it. But it's like Amnesia, boom, 440 defense, and then a Citrus Berry. So here's the idea. Take a hit, Amnesia. Take a hit, Citrus Berry activates, Amnesia. Take a hit, Synthesis, Amnesia. Now you're +6 special defense. Also, depending, like, if you get that perfect switch prediction, like, okay, special ain't working from the opponent. Yeah, Jolteon can't do anything to the Torterra, so you're predicting a physical switch, Curse. So it's the same thing. Curse, Citrus Berry, Synthesis, Curse, Amnesia, and then you're just kind of like looking for that end where it's like, all right, I'm +3 defense, +3 attack, +2 special defense. I have Synthesis, I have Shell Armor, so you can't even crit me out of this one. What can they do? There isn't anything they can do. After that, they slowly just have the life drained from their eyes because +6 on Curse is coming. That's going to be a +6 crunch. It can't be immune by anything. Dark can be walled, but it's like, okay, at +6, you're doing 4x damage. 109 base attack, gonna be pretty good. So now Crunch is just 2-3 hit KO on everything. 24 PP, Synthesis. Like, that's a win. It's hard to get Torterra there. And there's also other just filthy setup Pokemon in the game. But maybe in Gen 4, reduced decks with meta shenanigans going on, Torterra makes it work. And then we have roughly the same idea with a different coat of paint. So for the EVs on this one, it's going to be similar to this, mixed in with some meta. There's like not as crazy physical attacking going on. You can trim a little bit and then go into the special defense, because Stockpile is going to boost everything at the same time. Also, that makes Stockpile a lot safer. That if you just go Stockpile, doesn't matter if they switch, you're just going to be gaining on them. That's going to be pretty good. And instead of the Curse, we have the Swords Dance. So it's like Stockpile, Chesto, Resto, Swords Dance, Crunch, Rest, it doesn't matter. Like, once you hit 3 Stockpiles on a tanky Pokemon like the Torterra with these kind of defenses, like, you take hits, and then you wake up, and then you're able to do damage or set up, and then you go back to sleep, and then you take hits, and then you do damage, set up, and then you rest again. That's just the power of setup tanks. That is what I've devoted my entire Pokemon career to, and it's worked out pretty well. It's made me one of the best Pokemon battlers in the world because I just understand win conditions and like opportunities like very few other people, and then making my channel based off of setup tanking and just kind of my ideas from the early days of Pokemon has turned into a 6-figure salary playing Pokemon for a living. So that's why if anything has like a Stockpile opportunity or anything has a Curse Amnesia or like some weirdness where you can just kind of squeak it in and then go for that setup sweep, you can fish for it. And if it turns out to be one of your Pokemon or a Pokemon that works in the meta, you might have just made a Pokemon that no one respects into something that's going to win you games. Cool. Now, if setup sweepers aren't your style, by the way, this is objectively not stalling. This is progressing the game state. You are eventually just going to make it to the point where you sweep and win on an unkillable Pokemon. So it's not like, oh, I don't like that because it's stall. Well, it isn't stall, so that's just kind of something to take into consideration on Torterra. But if you don't like setup sweeping because it has like a lot of complicated game states and win conditions, I haven't looked into Torterra versus like every other grass type Pokemon in the game or something. But it's like max hit points, max defense. I don't know where it stands and like the ranking of like pure defensive tank Pokemon or how it stands up. Like, there is Weavile, there is Mamoswine, so it's not like you're going to physical out some ice-type Pokemon. The fire matchups get weird, the flying bug, especially as like a ground type, you don't really have too many responses with the flying Pokemon as well. So I don't know like how proficient it is or like what the comparison like Venusaur versus Torterra as a physical tank or tank Pokemon with Leech Seed Synthesis, but if you want to go for it, Torterra, leftovers, Leech Seed, you protect, you get tons of health back. Inside of that, you Synthesis to kind of get a little bit of extra Leech Seed damage. Then Earthquake, 109, stab, attack. You don't want the bold nature, you want the impish nature. And then, boom, like, you just throw hits. And Leech Seed, protect, Leech Seed, Earthquake might just, and then protect again, that's a KO or something. And then you're still healthy, and you might just be too fat for any of the opponent's Pokemon to take out. Or instead protect, stockpile. If you have the opportunity, take it. Like, stockpile, Synthesis, Leech Seed, stockpile, Synthesis, unkillable, Earthquake for coverage. I also haven't like looked into exactly like, is there a Pokemon that is immune to both ground and Leech Seed? A flying grass Pokemon, Tropius. Also, this is a hard life against just grass type Pokemon because Earthquake is going to be resisted or neutral into a grass poison typing. But at least you can't get spored by Breloom. So, I mean, like, that could be just the value of Torterra. That maybe physical Torterra, you just sit it in there if your team is super weak to Breloom. In which case, you wouldn't want the Earthquake. You would actually want something that counters or deals with Breloom a little better. Now, since Breloom is fighting, the Crunch doesn't really work. So, I mean, maybe you just Earthquake it because Breloom is frail or something. I don't like Iron Tail. Heavy Slam probably doesn't have, like, the craziest damage numbers. Yeah, you don't have a lot to work with on the Torterra, so I mean, maybe that is it. You just go for the 5-hit KO on the Earthquake because they don't have any options against you, and if you like force some kind of switch or weirdness, boom, stockpile. Now the new Pokemon can't even deal with you unless it's an ice type. Torterra might actually find quite a few ways to succeed in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, so keep an eye out for that. Like, don't discount this Pokemon from your team depending on what is stopping. Like, if you're like, man, if only I had a grass or a ground type Pokemon to deal with this that could just be bulky enough to do something and then sustain. Like, I just need to stall out a bit more, you know. There we go, Torterra, boom. After that, I was trying to think about like fun, more sweepy Torterra. Endure, Lychee Berry, Rock Polish on Fat. Like, okay, so you go Rock Polish, you take a hit. After that, you Endure to take the second hit. Lychee Berry gives you attack, so now you're +1 attack, +2 speed. This might actually be the case for Overgrow because 1 hit point's Overgrow. That's going to be strong, so Seed Bomb is going to like get that extra damage. It does get access to the Wood Hammer, but Recoil means you die at 1 hit point, so not a good idea. There's also always the weird math between like average Bullet Seed damage potential versus the Seed Bomb. Now, Seed Bomb at +1 probably doesn't find a lot of like crazy 1-hit KOs. So like, Bullet Seed RNG is a 2-hit KO, Seed Bomb's a 2-hit KO, unless Bullet Seed RNG becomes a 1-hit KO, in which case Bullet Seed might be the better choice. That is a school of thought. You see it with things like the Rock Slide versus the Rock Blast, also like Breloom running Bullet Seed or other Pokemon that can run the Bullet Seed, taking that as an option, because the odds of getting unlucky, it's like, okay, back-to-back 2 Bullet Seeds. Can happen, can cost you games, but if you're just kind of going for average luck on the 3 Bullet Seeds, well, it's slightly less damage, and then everything after that just becomes more damage, and there's those situations where it's like, oh, the 5 Bullet Seed wins me the game. Oh, I got the 15% chance for that. So there's a 15% chance it hits 4 times, 15 it hits 5 times, but 35% chance it hits 2 times. However, that means 65% of the time you're doing comparable to more Seed Bomb damage. again, that is a thing that people take, and it could be the difference, and it could lead to some shenanigans. But also, you just have Earthquake, 100 base power, stab, +1, 109 attack. You go and clap him with that, and yeah, you could do it. If that's your flavor of Torterra, fine. I don't know what it beats, but if it beats something, that's cool. And then, like I said, it's mostly like, oh, you catch him off guard, set up tank. You could run this, a Snorlax, a Hippo, other setup tank Pokemon, and if this one works because reasons, all right, I'm down with that. So there we go, guys. That is how you use Torterra. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.